So again, Pandatank versus Bakchiadai, Protoss versus Protoss, Xel'Naga, Caverns. This is round 2 of game 1. Okay, so we have different spawns this time. Pandatank spawn in top right, and Bakchiadai obviously spawn in bottom left. And this time it seems like Bakchiadai's probes are mining as they were supposed to be mining. So no complaints this time, I hope.
Everything seems to be running swimmingly.
Yep, no lag this game, seems good. Okay, so for anyone listening, the game has just started, so there's nothing happening just yet. I don't know what to expect from a game like this. I would have loved to see some Protoss 2-gate action, but players just, I don't know, they just don't seem keen on the cheese today.
Yeah, I mean, I think without having McNoob in the tournament, there's been little inspiration to cheese.
Oh man, you are so right. Yeah, I do miss watching McNoob play. So if you're listening right now, McNoob, get your ass back in those tournaments. We want to see more cheese games. But yeah, either way, a bit of an early scout there from Pandatank. He's having a look around the bottom of the map. He checks the Xel'Naga tower. He runs all the way down to his opponent's base. He's going to have a look around there, see absolutely nothing. He's going to see the first gateway going up. But yeah, they got to do this. Let's see if these guys can keep their own probes in their opponent's bases for long enough to be able to see some useful information. You know, this is the kind of map as well. Have you realized that the couple of games we've seen on this map, the game is always just spread out between the two bases in a sort of a straight line. We don't often see the game spreading around the sides of the map, taking the players don't take full advantage of all those bases they can expand to and stuff like that, and that's pretty weird.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think we have we seen a Zerg game on this map yet?
Yeah, we watched Crayolia yesterday play on this map, I think.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I'd like to see like Zerg especially take advantage of this map. I mean, there's a lot of expansions that you can use that could be hidden away, you know?
No, definitely, and I think like on a map like this, it's very hidden. You hide at top left, bottom right, I don't know, these little up ramps. There are so many little places you can hide your expansions. There are lots of expansions on a map of this size, and I guess players just don't want to take that risk, because the further you expand away from your base, the harder it is to defend. So yeah, that's a big risk for someone to take in a game of this, let's just say, importance. Yeah,
no, absolutely. Both players are pretty much mirroring each other, and Pandatank has actually put a simulator down on Bakchiadai's gas.
Oh yeah, I see that now. Indeed, he did. It's so difficult when you're watching Protoss versus Protoss to know whose buildings are whose. So yeah, he did put that there. It seems like Bakchiadai is on the case though. He's got that that Zealot attacking it right now, so it's going to go down in short order. But what you got to say from that is that Pandatank actually got a little bit more time to scout around his opponent's base unhindered. So that's one good thing about wasting those 75 minerals.
Yeah, absolutely.
So as you were saying, both players are mirroring them each other right now. There's a slight variation. Oops, Pandatank not quite able to decide what he wants to build. He queued up a sentry there, then he queued up a stalker, and now he queued up a zealot. So definitely very indecisive.
What I like to see, Pandatank is making good use of his chrono boosts on the warp gate tech on the cybernetics core, whereas Bakchiadai is not doing the same thing.
Bakchiadai got his out a little bit sooner, so the difference is minimal. But biggest change so far is that I think I'd have to say, yeah, the robotics facility for Bakchiadai is going to be down a little bit sooner, but it's still so close, these guys. The biggest disadvantage right now is that Bakchiadai actually didn't get that gas up as quick as his opponent, so he's going to be gas starved for a little bit at least.
Yeah, he will. Both players now both have robotics facilities as well, and I should imagine a observer from each.
It's also very interesting always seeing those observers come out and then seeing which player can focus down their opponent's observer first with 1 or 2 stalkers, because as you know, they can spot each other, so they're probably going to fly past each other in the middle of the map, just sort of high five there in the middle of the map, and then continue on to their opponent's bases.
Yeah, Bakchiadai still hasn't produced an observer yet. He's low on the gas from that gas steal, so that was a good move from Pandatank.
And I suppose at the same time, it's pretty clever that Bakchiadai doesn't waste too much gas. He doesn't get the observer out right now in case he gets attacked early. So he wants to get enough combative units out so he can actually defend against an attack.
Yeah, absolutely. And Pandatank has also just put his robotics bay down behind his middle line, and Bakchiadai has also started his.
Indeed he has. So, interesting stuff. That just means we're going to see those Colossi out. It always comes down in a PvP, well not always, sometimes when it goes this way in a PvP, it's going to come down to who can micro those Colossi the best, keep them alive the longest, and do the most damage with them. Because in these battles that happen between Protoss players, those Colossus really, they make such a big difference. The amount of damage they can do in the amount of time, wow, so incredible. So, Pandatank very heavy on the Zealots at the moment.
Yeah, both players have now started pushing out Colossi, both of them being chrono boosted out. Pandatank does have the advantage in that he knows it's coming.
Yeah, that observer, that silly little observer, that's going to be a huge advantage. He's also going to know when his opponent decides to expand, should he want to do that. And I see at the bottom of the map, Pandatank has a little idle probe standing there, just waiting, which is also a good thing, so he can, should he need to, he can just throw down that proxy pylon there and get the reinforcements from his gateways as soon as he starts attacking.
There we go. Pandatank can now see the force moving out, and he still chooses to expand. Questionable tactic?
I definitely think so. Like we always say, 400 minerals that might actually be wasted. He knows his opponent is on his way. Why not rather try get a couple more units out, because his gateways are actually standing unused at the moment. Three gateways right now that could be used to warp in units, but he hasn't yet.
Yeah, he's just spent 200 on the thermal lance for the Colossi, as has Bakchiadai.
Yeah, it's always so difficult to decide what to do, because he could get that upgrade, or instead of spending that, he could get another 2 Zealots out, he could get another 2 Sentries out. It's so difficult for these players to decide. But it seems like Bakchiadai is going to be the one to make the first move. He's got his proxy pylon going down, and he's gathering his force right outside Pandatank's natural.
Pandatank needs to summon in some more units, which he does. His second Colossi is almost done, so he's going to have the advantage in that point of view.
And it's going to be a big advantage, because the Colossi are the most important. So Pandatank loses control of a few of his Zealots. Oh no! So much damage on those Zealots. That was slightly sloppy from our top Protoss player.
Those 2 Colossi putting down some big damage on the Zealots. Bakchiadai does have a second one coming up though.
Some nice shield positioning from Bakchiadai's sentry as well, but those 2 Colossi from Pandatank doing nice damage. Now they're forced to retreat up that cliff. Pandatank can warp a few more units in. He does do that. 3 more sentries, but is it going to be enough? Bakchiadai pushing into his base. He takes down one of the Colossus. Wow, not looking good for Pandatank. Bakchiadai doing incredibly nice damage. His second Colossus arrives to back him up, and it seems like Pandatank has nothing else to throw at his opponent. Good game. Wow. So once again, I gotta say, it might have actually been the fact that he expanded slightly early there. That was a couple of minerals wasted, and maybe not the best of choices.